Hey, Celtics Nation! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. In a shocking twist that has set the NBA rumor mill ablaze, whispers are growing louder out of Boston that Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla may have finally hit his breaking point with franchise cornerstone Jason Tatum. Now, let's be clear, nothing's been officially confirmed, but behind-the-scenes sources and NBA insiders are all hinting at a major rift between the coach and his all-star forward, and the phrase that's been echoing through Celtics circles: "He's not playing for me again." That's right. According to reports, Mazzulla was overheard expressing intense frustration with Tatum following a recent locker room incident that apparently pushed him over the edge. It's the kind of drama you expect in a locker room under pressure, but no one saw this level of tension coming, especially not during what's supposed to be Boston's golden window of championship contention. This could shake up the entire franchise dynamic. The drama supposedly unfolded in the aftermath of a tightly contested playoff game, where sources say Tatum and Mazzulla had a heated exchange, not just about game tactics, but about respect, leadership, and accountability. One insider described it as a culmination of weeks of tension, suggesting that this wasn't just a flare-up, it was the volcano finally erupting. And if these sources are to be believed, Mazzulla's words weren't said out of the blue. They were the result of several games worth of built-up frustration over what he saw as Tatum freelancing on the court, ignoring plays, and showing visible discontent with coaching decisions. He's tuning me out, Mazzulla reportedly told a staff member shortly before making that now infamous comment, "He's not playing for me again." Now, that's not just a disagreement. That's an earthquake rumbling under TD Garden. Of course, the Celtics organization is staying tight-lipped. Brad Stevens, Celtics president of basketball operations, hasn't made a public statement, and neither has Tatum or Mazzulla. But the silence is only fueling the fire. When media asked about the coach-player dynamic, both sides gave the classic, "We're focused on winning" response. And if you follow the NBA, you know that's PR speak for "We're putting out fires behind closed doors." Some team insiders have claimed that the atmosphere at recent practices has been icy, with minimal communication between Mazzulla and Tatum. Others say the two haven't even spoken since the incident. That's not the kind of relationship you want between your head coach and your best player during a championship run. And fans are starting to wonder, is this a bump in the road, or is this the beginning of an end? Now, let's not forget, Jason Tatum isn't just any player, he's the guy in Boston, the face of the franchise, the player the Celtics are building their entire future around. So for Mazzulla to even think about benching him, or worse, moving on from him, would be a franchise-altering decision. But if the rumors are true, and if Mazzulla really did say, "He's not playing for me again," then we're talking about a line being crossed that might be impossible to walk back from. And this isn't just about X's and O's anymore. This is about ego, leadership, and identity. Two alpha figures inside a storied franchise suddenly on opposite sides of a line in the sand. The locker room's foundation might be a lot shakier than anyone realized, and here's where things get really messy. There's chatter among NBA agents and execs that Tatum's camp isn't happy, not just with the situation, but with how long it's been allowed to fester. One unnamed agent close to the situation reportedly said, "You don't treat a player like Tatum this way unless you're trying to force a trade or make a statement." That's a bombshell. Could the Celtics even unintentionally pushing their star out the door? Imagine that. Tatum, a homegrown superstar, potentially being driven out of Boston over a power struggle with his head coach. It almost feels unthinkable. But in today's NBA, with player movement more frequent than ever, even the biggest stars aren't untouchable. Just ask Damian Lillard or James Harden. Loyalty only lasts as long as the chemistry does. What makes this situation even more fascinating is Joe Mazzulla's reputation. He's not your typical NBA head coach. Young, intense, and unapologetically bold, Mazzulla was a surprise choice to take the reins after Ime Udoka's departure. Many thought he'd be more of a bridge, a quiet stabilizing figure, but instead he's made it clear he's running this team his way. He doesn't play favorites, and he doesn't back down. That attitude has earned him respect, but also some resistance. And if he's truly drawing a line in the sand with Tatum, it shows he's willing to risk it all to uphold his authority. But here's the question Celtics fans are now asking themselves. Is this a fight worth picking, or a fire that could burn everything down? But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Behind closed doors, the Celtics front office is likely scrambling. On one hand, they have to support their coach, especially after handing him a long-term vote of confidence. On the other, alienating your franchise player could send shockwaves through the locker room and the league. Other players are watching this unfold, and locker room loyalty often sides with the star. If Boston loses Tatum, even just emotionally, it could fracture team chemistry beyond repair. And you can bet rival GMs are already circling like vultures, waiting to see if Tatum might want out. The optics alone could be enough to unsettle a playoff run. A championship caliber team suddenly dragged into internal chaos? It's the kind of thing that can derail an entire season. It's worth remembering that championship teams don't just win with talent. They win with unity, with trust, with belief in the system and the people leading it. If that belief is broken, if Tatum no longer trusts MAZZULLA, or if MAZZULLA has truly closed the door on their relationship, then Boston is facing more than just a personality clash. They're facing an identity crisis. Because when your best player and your head coach are no longer on the same page, the ripple effect touches every corner of the franchise. Practices become tense, team meetings get awkward, on-court decisions start getting second-guessed, and before you know it, a championship favorite becomes a cautionary tale. Now this could all blow over. Maybe it's just heat of the moment frustration, and cooler heads will prevail. Maybe Tatum and MAZZULLA sit down, clear the air, and come out stronger for it. That's the best case scenario. After all, sports are full of redemption arcs. Kobe and Phil, Draymond and Steve Kerr, even LeBron and Spoelstra had their clashes before winning titles together. But the silence from the Celtics right now is deafening. No damage control, no reassurance to the fans, just silence. And that's what's making people nervous. When there's smoke and nobody grabs a fire extinguisher, you start to wonder if there's a 5-alarm blaze behind the scenes. So here we are, a team built to contend suddenly engulfed in drama, a coach trying to assert his voice, a superstar potentially feeling disrespected, and an entire fan base holding its breath. Could this be the moment that defines the MAZZULLA era, for better or worse? Or is it the beginning of a painful unraveling for the Boston Celtics? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear, when the words "he's not playing for me again" start circling around your locker room, it's no longer just a rumor. It's a storm warning. And if the Celtics don't find shelter soon, they might just get swept away. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.